Good evening, everyone. This is Gil at Camppatton Family Compound. And with me tonight, we have Tammy at Rebel Canners and Mark at Chef Tech. And we are glad to welcome you to tonight's Fireside Chat, where tonight's topic is canning broths. And how's everybody doing out there? Okay, we got a few more in here. All right. So, this is interesting. I've been watching the live count there. It was hanging at 7 for a while. Then it jumped up to 11. Then it went back down to 9. Then it just flickered to 10 and back down to 9.
Now, I tried watching on my other iPad, and it won't let me see the chat. So I went on, went back off. I'm on Tammy's side on my phone right now.
Yeah. Well, let me see who all's in here, and I'll call out whichever side everybody's on. So Walt Rogers was first one in. Shady Hill Homestead was second. Phelan Klein Wolf was third. Phelan Strain was fourth. Mark topped in on Tammy's side for fifth. And we talked about the ads. Suzanne Galay's on your side, Tammy. Bear Truth 101 is in on your side.
Thank you. Hi.
And Tammy's talking to North Star Prepsteaders here. Woohoo!
Yeah, look, Lewis is on your side, Tim, I think. Oh, wait, I don't know.
Yeah, Lewis is on your side. He just came in.
Yeah, Tammy's getting all the love. You get nothing,
right.
Gil.
This is a live. It's not pre-recorded. It's never pre-recorded for when it should say live stream. And so you caught the live. You're not catching the replay.
Yep, we're here.
So when you ask questions, we will try to answer them.
Yep.
We've gone over a lot of things in the last year, almost a year. Next month, I think it's about the middle of next month, there'll be a year of doing this on Monday nights. And and Lewis is also in on my side too. And so we've covered a lot. And Jack's here at Geeky Gardens, and we've covered a lot of things from the using the mason jars for the cookie dough recipes, for different soup recipes, all sorts of different things going along the way. And canning broths has been talked about a lot, but only as a side note. Yeah, if you're going to be doing pot roast, put some beef broth in it. If you're going to be doing whole chicken, put chicken broth in it so it doesn't dry out. But we've never talked about canning the different broths solely for themselves. So if you have any questions about it, we'll try to answer it. Try to talk about a few things not to put in there. Sage. And Terry M is here on your side too, Tammy. All right, Bear Truth is in North Central Carolina. Okay. Wait, that's over by where Pimento Prepared's at. Anthony's in North Carolina. Another great channel. He loves to cook too, but he's busy with his little girl. And she was too little, and now she's too big and running around the house. So he's giving the wife a break all the time and keeping her under control in the evenings. So he's not doing any live streams at night anymore. All right, so let's jump over here and continue on with this here. So we've talked about canning chicken. We've talked about canning pork. We've talked about canning beef. We've talked about canning fish. We quasi talked about turkey, but mainly it was with the poultry. All the same. And we talked about canning rabbits. We have not. Oh, wait a minute. I got to see if I can put that one up here. I got to see if I can put that other one up here real quick here. Oh, wrong button. Nope. There we go. Let me put this other one up here. So there's individuals. Oh, it's not in here. It didn't come with me. Dang it. No, it didn't.
Oh,
dang it.
You can see my picture. Canning raccoon.
Yeah. I did a big one of canning raccoon for Mark.
It's too greasy. Don't do it. Nah.
It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So basically, this is an investment. We're talking about investments here because we're all going to be bouillon dealers.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
there
Only
could be
you.
there could be more serious truth to that than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when we were talked about canning the different fats, and I talked about you know tallow and
Lard, yeah, all the good stuff.
lard, yes, and then we talked about the platinum one, bear fat,
Bear fat, deer fat.
which is So
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, hey, I have a block of copper. Yeah, I got 20 quarts of beef broth. I can drink my broth. Good luck chewing on that copper bar. I don't think you have a deficiency, but okay.
yeah.
And no, I'm not going to sell it to you for the copper because I can't eat the copper.
Oh, got a question right off the bat from Bear Truth. Okay, I have just about everything, but what I want to know is if you make soup, is it and it has flour in it, can it be canned?
Oh, you, Tammy. I got booted from the last web page.
Okay.
That one.
You are not supposed to can flour. Do I personally can flour? Yes. In small amounts, like something to thicken soup, yes.
It's
If
making a
you-
roux. Like if you mix the
Yes.
flour with the butter and
Yeah.
cook it,
Yeah, oh yeah.
kind of
Oh, yeah.
becomes one thing. So it's not just flour
Yeah.
anymore. So yeah.
But if you are really worried and you want to follow all the letters of the alphabet soup laws, you would use clear gel. And that is a modified cornstarch that's modified to take high temps. It's probably been made with all those products I won't eat, and sprayed with a lot of chemicals I don't want to ingest. But maybe not. I don't know where they source it from. But you can use clear gel, and it's a modified cornstarch in place of the flour.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out which kind of clear gel you got. Instant clear gel. You don't want to use that.
No,
I tried
the
that
cook
one.
type.
It was
No,
ugly.
yeah. Or you can just leave it out and add it when you're heating your soup up. If you're making it from scratch, you can just leave that ingredient out and take some out to can it, and then just add it to the part that you're serving that night or when you open the jars.
Yeah.
It's just a personal thing. I do it, but I'm not adding very much at a time.
Ooh,
And
you know what just occurred to me?
what?
I used to make, when I was in the business, we used to make roux like once a week, like 40 pounds of butter and like 40 pounds of flour. We'd bake it in the oven. We always had roux to use. I wonder if I could can roux, which is basically ghee and flour. Huh.
Officially, no. Unofficially, of course.
I'll have to give that one a shot and see what happens. That would be epic.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Get with your sister and video that.
Well,
I
don't need to get with her. I just can video it as I go. But if it fails, well, I still might put the video up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, don't can roux.
People learn from failures as much as they learn from successes.
That's why I know so much.
Anybody who's afraid to put their failures up is doing everybody a disservice in this,
And if it does fail, Mark, that may be one that goes viral because he actually showed how it failed, and everybody's going to be sharing it.
Canning roux? What? You can't do that. Oh yeah, he did, and it didn't work. Okay, or it did, and hey, this is for entertainment purposes only. All right, I'll have to work on that one.
All right, let's see. Tammy Harder just came in. Hey, Tammy, the other Tammy. So we got both Tammys here.
I know it gets confusing. She was in a live I was in last night, and I had walked away and came back, didn't realize she was in. And I'm like answering, and then I'm like, wait, are they talking to me or are they talking to her?
Yeah,
I'm so confused.
Yeah. Let me check it. I'm trying to catch up on a thing here. All right. A little word of warning from Kaylin here. Department statement said I may be dipping into my preps the way things are going, rather than have there are a lot of things going on. Someone else who's in the chat on one around here sent me an interesting email. I have added that to the topics for Survival Saturday in a couple weeks. So, and it has to do with food supply, not just here in the United States and not just in China, but other countries dealing with the weather stuff. So that'll be coming up here in a little bit.
Hey,
In a couple-
Shadow
Okay.
Scout Swede's back on. He's going to do I think Saturday he's doing one.
Oh, good.
So he's
Yeah,
back. I guess he's doing better after his dad passed. So
yeah. He usually does 12 o'clock Mountain Time, I believe it is, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, and whatever time it is over there in Sweden.
yeah, for 4 hours. It's awesome.
All right, let's see. Let me catch up here. Kathy says, otherwise I make a note on the can of how much flour, cornstarch to eat for. Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I always kind of thicken with my measure with my heart when I thicken stuff.
Yeah. All right. Everyone's talking back and forth, comparing notes there.
What Bear Truth 01 just said, my cat had froze. I hope it got talked. Oh.
All right. Angel's Homestead, it just came in.
Hi.
On Tammy's side, Diana 2 is here.
Hi,
Now,
Diana.
all right. So if you see Diana 2, it's our Diana 2. If you see Diana, I think the other thing is it's her as well because she has a new phone. So on the phone, it has a different, thing. So if any of my mods see Diana with the new with like it's 3 digits, like AI Sue or 13A or whatever it is after it. That's her as well.
She caught us off guard the other night, but we figured it out.
Yeah. All right, Kathy, take care.
I can mirepoix today, Mark.
For what? Just celery, carrots, and onions? Just in what? In chicken broth or just
beef broth?
Okay, there you go.
I've been on a beef broth kick.
It's okay.
Going back to I don't know why I've got a lot of chicken broth, and so I've been on a beef broth kick. I don't know. Just what sounds good.
That's your thug bubble.
Oh yeah. Hey, if we can't have fun here and learn, why just learn and be bored to death?
We got to talk about canning pasta at some point because I think I still have 3 jars of those dried cheese raviolis I picked up at Trader Joe's when I was on Rebel Canners way back.
Yeah.
Did some in tomato juice, some in some very thin sauce, and I think they're still good because they're still sealed, but they're pasty as hell.
I did not like those. I really like the fresh better of the whatever they are.
Fresh raviolis or pastas?
The little round ones.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do something on canning pasta-based soups and things.
Yeah.
I almost picked up some alphabets the other day because I want to throw some alphabets in my beef stew for alphabet soup.
I know who I'm going to target.
One of the things that I've noticed, and I haven't been able to track down why it quote works for the professional canners like Chef Boyardee, how they get their pasta to hold together and not get absolutely falling apart, gummy, ugly.
It probably took them about 800 tries to find the right combination of thickness of sauce, how many raviolis, whether the pasta was dry, not dried, cooked, wet. I mean, there's so many ways to try, and they figured it out. And
what chemicals they added to that flour?
I think it's what type of wheat they use.
Yeah.
Yeah. That someone I had heard that about there because there's different types of wheat for making pasta, and over in Europe and especially in Italy, they use a totally different type of wheat for making their pasta. A cat ran across her keyboard again.
Oh,
Gonna soup here in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Chinese hot and sour kitty cat in a minute.
Canning Chinese.
Chicken.
I love them. I would never do that.
Special tonight buffet. All you can eat chicken. No.
I am just joking. I would never do that. Besides the one's too skinny, but I would never do that. No.
I was looking back at the thing, and dry meals in it. So we talk about meals in a jar and stuff.
Yeah.
That was back in January or February of this year.
January,
We were covering
Yeah.
meals in a jar, and we showed. I put the book away. We showed our books on meals in a jar.
And I don't. Okay, who was it that always accused me of always having my book next to me? I don't have my books next to me here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I bet that canning that All American canner is close by somewhere.
Oh,
It's in the camper. It isn't. It's actually in a different building.
Oh no.
I know we're off topic of broths here, but something just occurred to me. Something that Mark had said, and then Tammy mentioned, and Kaylin actually put the name tortellini in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. Thank you, Caitlin.
Freeze-dried cheese tortellini.
I did not like.
But
Yeah,
that's it. So we'll go over it again, but
Help.
freeze drying versus dried is totally different.
Yeah,
If I freeze dry, you have to cook it first, so it's the way you want it, plus a little softer. Freeze dry, then you just add water to it, and boop, you got tortellini again.
yeah,
But you need a freeze dryer. You can't throw it in a dehydrator and do that.
right, exactly. Because I was just thinking, because we love cheese tortellini, and
I'll put it on my list of things to do, and then get your address and send you a pouch and let you try it on the air.
Cool,
there you go.
excellent.
I'll have to
Yeah,
send something
I-
to Tammy too at this point, I guess, because I don't
I
play
bought
favorites.
I bought the dried tortellini from the store because somebody in my Facebook group posted doing it, and they diluted it by 1/3 with water, and the rest their spaghetti sauce,
Right.
Seasoned tomato sauce. They were just nasty. I
Yeah, they
didn't
get
like
mushy.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really mushy.
That's why I
really
was
like
thinking the
fresh.
freeze dried, because I've heard people talk bad about the dried tortellinis, but that's what I was wondering about the freeze dried, since Mark freeze dries a lot of stuff. If you freeze dried cooked tortellini,
Well,
I
if
freeze
you
dry egg noodles, pasta, and that, and then I freeze dry the sauce. I'll put them in the same pouch together. A brick of freeze dried, meat
Yeah.
sauce, and a brick of my spaghetti, and just figure out how much water to add. So
Yeah, now that
Okay.
might be okay, but I don't think for me, I don't think canning them would be all
Nah.
that great.
because what made me think about that was what Angel said about dry meals in a jar for her husband.
Mhm.
And so something like that, you want to have the freeze dried tortellini and something, add the hot water to it.
Now we've done the SpaghettiOs, and my family loves the home canned SpaghettiOs
Okay.
and the alphabet soup. We love the alphabet soup pasta in there. Do you know what I couldn't find today that I wanted to finish? Part of why I did the mirepoix is I want to make beef barley soup, and I have
Yeah.
everything ready for it. I only could find instant barley, and I want a can. And this is not approved, but I'm doing it. I always do it anyway because you
Yeah.
can buy it in the store. I needed the cook type barley, and they only had
Right.
instant barley.
Yeah. Check at the co-op for grains and stuff, not at the stores, because
I'm
my
gonna-
son-in-law got that for making his chicken feed.
Yeah, they just have to be hulled barley,
Yeah.
but they might actually. There's an elevator here in town. I might go check it
Okay,
out.
got a question here, but first, hello, Copper Kettle Farms. Yep, long time no see. So Bear Truth has one more question here. Can you dehydrate chicken and be safe about it?
Dehydrate?
Eh,
Well, you make chicken jerky. I
Yeah.
dehydrated cooked chicken, not raw.
Yeah.
you really got to get first of all, it should be cooked, definitely, and you really got to get the fat out of it. It has a lot more. You got to get all the fat off of it.
Yeah,
Or it goes-
dehydrated
go
food
rancid.
doesn't have near the shelf life as freeze dried.
Mm-mm.
And I
Yeah.
mean, I did it. That was what I was doing way back in the day. I dehydrated frozen mixed vegetables and chicken chunks cooked, and put it in a mason jar with a desiccant pack. I didn't have oxygen absorbers. I used the vacuum seal thing, but they didn't last very
No.
long. Maybe 6-8 months. And I opened one up. I was like, it
Hmm.
didn't smell bad. It just didn't smell appetizing anymore.
Off. Smells off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
our
done
treasure
that.
Homestead's in here on your side.
Hi. Yeah, I tried it too, and I've done it, but it's not something I would do unless I was really desperate and didn't have a
Yeah.
freezer or a canner.
Yeah. Okay. So back on topic with the different types of broths. But before we go all the different types, I want to go about different types. The first different types are like chicken, beef, turkey, pork, bacon broth.
Bacon broth,
Lamb.
Yeah,
clam, fish
clam,
broth.
fish. Yeah, okay. Let's take a simple one. Chicken.
Okay.
What different types of chicken broth? Plain, unsalted, salted, what else?
You can also make stock where you have a lot of vegetables added to it that you've drained out of it, strained out of it. And sometimes you still have a little bit of meat flecks in that. And that's okay. That's really good too.
Onion. You can make onion broth, or I make French onion soup and can it.
I made French onion soup to can this week. It was all a big batch. I batch can, so I did the mirepoix because I'm chopping up the vegetables anyway. I did the French onion soup, and then I have all of it prepped for beef and barley soup. So
Yeah, you can't can barley. It's a grain. That's what got me booted off of the one of the Facebook pages back in the day.
yeah, tell that to that company that starts with a C and has
Oh yeah, no,
red
you
and white label.
I don't have the scientific background and the $1 billion worth of equipment and payoffs to the agencies. Yeah.
ABC,
All right.
EFG agency.
And like Kaylin says here, different herbs in broths, not sage.
Yeah.
Not sage. Well, you could probably get away with a little itty bit of poultry seasoning in a big pot of chicken broth if you're going to can it. I do turkey broth every year. We'll do, we have our turkey for Thanksgiving. The next day we run to the store. I buy another turkey on sale, cook that off. Then all the meat gets stripped off. We do turkey stuff. I freeze dry stuff. And then all the bones go in a pot, make a big old batch of turkey broth and with whatever seasonings I want, not necessarily sage, and then I can it. And then the next year when I'm making turkey, my gravy's done while the turkey's still in the oven. It's great. Friends of mine are like, can I have some of your turkey broth? I'm like, sure. And then I just make more anyway. Just bring my jars back. I don't care. So it's great for that. I mean, you make your own broth for anything. You just turn it into gravy while the roast beef is in the oven. You got the nice beef bone broth gravy making it on the stove. Wow, I'm like mumbling there. Sorry about that. And I get excited. And you make your gravy or your au jus or whatever you're making for whatever you're making. Making chicken pot pie. You got that rotisserie chicken you just bought at Sam's Club 2 days ago. A lot of meat left. Open up a jar or two of chicken broth, thicken it up, throw your bag of mixed frozen vegetables in there with the chicken, get a pie shell, and there you go.
Yeah. All right, got a question here from Terry M on your side there. Do you recommend recanning into glass the commercially packaged broths from a carton?
Yes, because they are in those wax papered
Foil,
cartons.
it's like aluminum foil coated.
Yeah. Gil and I did do a live about PFASs, those forever chemicals. And yeah, the sooner that you can get it out of the store packaging, plastic, paper, whatever it is, and get it into glass, the better it is.
I still think it's better to just make your own than can it.
But not all of us can. Like now, I don't have access. I used canned broth today because I don't have access to beef bones. We're not going to butcher a steer. I don't have one. So, and the bones that I saw this week in the grocery store that were labeled dog bones, I wouldn't take home to use.
Yeah, they probably fell on the floor and did whatever.
Yeah.
They've been dried out, left out.
Yeah.
No, you got to find a butcher shop that will sell you a 50-pound bag of
but the butcher
but
the butcher shops here are on everybody that the whole fad of bone broth has come through here, and it is as much or more. I could buy sirloin for the price I'd have to pay for bones.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I'm not doing it. I won't do it.
Yeah. One of the things that I was at Winco today, which is out here in the western United States. And I was getting some stuff for the grandsons, and I happened to see a person restocking the soup aisle where they actually have the broth and stuff as well. And I'm looking, I just stopped and I go, is this stuff ever going on sale? She goes, yeah, it's going to be going on sale next month.
It's on
So
sale
I'm
here.
going to be keeping an eye out for the chicken and the beef broths at Winco, and I will I'll be stocking up and recanning those into jars.
It's $1.68 right now on sale here at Meijer for the chicken and $1.98 for the beef. I don't know why the difference. And
What?
usually
That's
they're the same
cardboard
price.
boxes.
Yes, but they used to be a full quart. They are not a full quart. They're not 16 ounces anymore. They're not even
20
14 ounces anymore. I think they're 12 ounces now.
Yeah,
Right.
Shrinkflation.
Oh, I'm gonna let you guys. Got another question here from Lewis. How long do you can broth for? And I'll be right back.
As long as there's no meat in them, pints are 20 minutes and quarts are 30 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. If you have a little bit of meat flecks in them, you can do them for the same time. Once you start getting a lot of meat in it, or you have vegetables in it, you need to do it for the soup time, which I think is 60 minutes. I'd have to look it up. I didn't look it up.
Be ready for that one fun thing that happens when you can broth. You put them
tell them.
Wait for it. You put them on the counter. You pull them out. They're done. You put them out there. They're still boiling in the jar. And then the jars start going bing, bonk, bing, bonk, bing, bonk, bing, bonk, bing. But they go up and down and up and down and up and down. It depends on the temperature in your room. And mine will sit there and they're not unsealing. Yeah, whatever. And they're not unsealing. No. They just the little button keeps going up and down, up and down. Drives my wife insane. She's like, "Is it sealed?" I'm like, "Not yet."
32 ounces.
32 ounce. This is they have both in beef and chicken, and that's supposed to be going on sale here next month.
Yeah, that's what you need, the big ones. I had to buy 4 of the small ones today to finish out what I had bought 3 and they weren't enough. I thought they were bigger than they were.
Interesting was the ingredients on it when I read it. Beef stock contains less than 2% of salt, natural flavors, yeast extract, carrots, celery juice, concentrate, celery juice concentrate, and onion juice concentrate. So less than 2% of those.
It's those natural ingredients that you got to worry about because you don't.
Yeah, that's what is the natural ingredients.
Yeah, naturally occurring where
natural flavors.
Or natural flavors.
That's got to be the beaver butt juice.
Yeah,
vanilla.
That's that canned raccoon that snuck into the system.
Yeah. But I wondered when I the first time I used this on when I was doing some just to cook with, I wondered why the pot roast tasted like it had carrots in it. Then I read it. Oh, it's got carrot juice in it.
Yeah.
No wonder it tastes like my grandmother used to do.
And the other broth we haven't talked about yet is veggie broth, and I know we're gonna.
Sorry, Tammy, not funny.
Is veggie broth, and I save all my end pieces, my offcuts, my ends, not my onion skins. We discussed that last week.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I'm like,
but you know,
I've seen those 50-pound bags of onions on a flatbed truck with no cover on it, driving down the highway in the rain, in the snow, with the local farms with this manure spreaders and other things spreading. I'm like, yeah, no, and there's no porta potties in the onion fields. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I save a lot of leftover vegetables, a lot of things, and I make a veggie broth. If I open a can of vegetables, I save that liquid, especially like if I buy store-bought corn, which I haven't done in a couple of years, but it sometimes finds its way into my house. Anyway, I will save that juice and I will freeze it, and then I will make a big pot of veggie broth. Ooh, I do have an Aldi's. I'll have to go look at Aldi's. Thank you.
I have Aldi and Lidl here, both. And yeah. They got decent stuff. It's not always cheap, but that's where I got that butter way back when for $1.39 a pound and bought 80 pounds or 90 pounds and made ghee.
Ooh.
I'm still waiting for Aldi to get on this side of the Continental Divide.
They won't.
The Germans are coming.
One of these days.
Too far from Austria and too close to China.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So you can make duck broth if you want. If you like duck, roast a duck and throw the bones in a pot and make duck broth.
Yeah.
Cool. What herbs in general would you say to add to your bone broths?
Thyme,
Rosemary, thyme,
pepper,
black pepper, salt.
Don't throw, if you're going to use red pepper flakes, be
Mm.
very lenient on it
Mm.
because it'll
Oh,
just.
you mean 2
continue
specks
to pull
per
the flavor.
gallon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Onions, carrots.
Yeah. I mean, when I do like my marinara sauce and that, yeah, there's oregano, basil, excuse me, all that stuff in there. But I don't use sage. I mean, except for in like.
And you saw that said celery juice concentrate. I take all those pieces that you cut off the celery to make your veggie tray at Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
And I use those to make my veggie broth
Oh, yeah.
and soup stock.
My grandmother would cut the roots off really close, and then the curved part, then she would cut it, and that little block of the curved part down at the bottom went in the stew pot.
Oh yeah, that's what it does here.
And then the top portion cut off went in the stew pot, and the other part went out on the condiment table out there for whatever you're going to put in it. What's going to be peanut butter or ranch dressing or whatever you're out
Wait,
there.
there's a term for it. It's called wait for it, crudité platter.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, we didn't have platters. We just had a bunch of plates of different things on it stuck out there. All the decorative Christmas and Thanksgiving plates, all the cheesy ones that look really cool that seeing now brings back really fond memories. They're cheesy, but they bring back fond memories. Mother's Garden Club just came in.
My favorite are the ones with the turkeys on them.
Yes.
And then at Christmas, you got to have Rudolph or, Santa
with the matching napkins and
or the Christmas geese.
Yes, I remember the Christmas geese. My mother had the Christmas geese for a while.
My mom gave us a big souplet cookie
platter.
Christmas goose soup. What is it? Laterne? What is it called?
Tureen.
Tureen. There we go.
Latrine. Yeah.
Latrine.
No,
yeah. No. Okay. All right. Men in Tights just jumped in my head. What you do before you change it to latrine? Shit house.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a Mel Brooks fan. I know I'm a boomer and a Mel Brooks fan. Okay. But so my wife's mother just pulled out to give to her youngest son her Christmas goose tureen, and I forgot to bring it down to give it to him.
Well,
so
McDonald's had the glasses, the glassware that came out at Christmas that had the holly and the geese on it.
Mm-hmm. So did
that's how old I am.
So did Disney with the geese and the holly around the bottom and the top, and then Mickey or Donald or Daisy or Goofy and all on the glasses.
Yes.
And these were glasses that were about, I guess, 12-ounce glasses.
Yeah, drinking water glasses.
It's in the dining room in a box waiting to be unpacked.
See?
My mom's.
I'm tired.
Okay, so now for the question that nobody's.
You froze.
Now for the question that nobody's asked, but I've asked you before. If you're cooking and say you do a pot roast, you do your broth, and you pull out your jar of broth, you put it in, you cook the pot roast in it. Can you save that broth again, and how many times?
So there's a rule, and I'll call it a rule. Your broth or any cooked food product does not want to be in the quote unquote danger zone for more than 4 hours, period. So right. If you make your broth and it sits on the stove, you use some of it and it sits out and cools down at, on the countertop for like 2 hours, you put it in the fridge. Now it's in the fridge. Okay. It's not in the danger zone, but you still have a shelf life on it. And then you decide to throw it in a jar and can it when you get enough stuff. Yeah, you might be good, but if you use it out of the jar, recook it, let it cool and do that, yeah, no. You're begging for it because you can't keep recooking the same thing and kill any bacteria that grew. The dead bacteria is what's going to get you, not the live bacteria. And
so basically, if holiday time, do the turkey like you do a turkey second day. You got all the carcasses. You do the bone broth. And you refrigerate it, and then a couple days later you do something. You want the broth on it, and so you heat it, bring it up to the boil again, and you do it. Then you save it one more time.
Depends.
Okay.
It depends on how.
So instead of if you don't cool it on the counter, if you have a big enough chest freezer or refrigerator where you can put the container right into the refrigerator so it cools quickly.
There's so many variables involved that. So if you have like pots like me, like we cook a lot of stuff in the wintertime because my deck is a refrigerator. It's great. And we'll do like a big, 28 quarts of sauce, and it's on the stove for most of the day. Now it's done. I put it on the deck. I'm up until 5 o'clock in the morning coming out here every 20 minutes stirring it because the outside gets cool. The inside is still in the danger zone. So you got to stir it and keep doing that. And yeah, there's ice baths and all that stuff. You got to stir it. If it's a little tiny pot, sure, but then you're not going to can it. You're just going to eat it. Right. So when I do bone broth and that and all that stuff, I can it hot. Okay. I hot pack it. Literally, it's done. It goes right in the jars and I start canning. I'm up until 4 in the morning.
Okay. All right, so Tammy just said, pointed out a good point, which we've talked about before. Be conservative on the herbs because they can intensify, especially sage.
Yeah.
Yeah. These two have beat sage in my head for quite a bit on that. Don't put sage in it.
I did. I beat that into you. Sorry. Not sorry. Today, when I did my French onion soup, I did 8 cups of onions and 8 cups of beef broth and only half a teaspoon of thyme.
Okay.
And that was plenty, if not too much.
Kathy D, Salt and Lights here.
Hi.
And coming in on your side, Claude Ortega.
Hello. I don't know you, but hello.
I've seen Claude Ortega around before. So, because the name is very familiar to me. I've seen it in the chat on other people's live streams and stuff. So, let's see, what else do we need to talk about for broths? Bear broth?
You can.
No.
It's awful greasy. You'd want it to be one of those cases. Well, of course, you want to save the bear grease for other things anyway. But
you could want bone broth, I guess. But I've never even heard or seen of that. But you know what? It would probably be fine. But you just gotta roast the bones and then boil them and make your broth and then can it right away. Yep. So, but for bear stew, soup, something, I don't know. I don't live in Alaska, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Sheep / lamb broth.
I would want lamb, not mutton. Lamb. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yummy. It's very good.
So the lambs, nice young tender things. Yeah. Got a question from Kathy.
I have just 1 second, then we'll get to that. I have fish heads, salmon coming, fish heads, so I can do fish stock for you, Gil. I've requested they leave my salmon heads on so I can do fish stock. So, all right. Now get to,
So you got to do the video. That's going to be
I
cool.
will do a video. Yep.
That will be extra cool.
Yep.
All right. So question is, what's the difference between broth,
stock, and bone broth.
All right.
I bought a chicken bone broth BOGO today for roast and soup. So
Right.
that's there's definitions of each one. Do you want it, Tammy, or you want me to do it? I don't care.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead. You're the technical
So-
chef expert.
So basically, broth is like you just throw your bones and meat parts and whatever in a pot, cook it for a while until it tastes the way you want it, strain it out. There's your broth, whether it's beef broth, chicken broth, turkey broth, name the broth, raccoon broth. Stock is when you start throwing all your stuff in there, and then you add onions, carrots, celery, herbs, and that. Now that's a soup stock. So you're ready to make whatever kind of soup, beef vegetable soup, you name it. Bone broth is literally just that. It's the bones. You can boil the bones, raw, and it'll be a very light colored broth. If you're doing beef bone broth, I would strongly suggest have the butcher or somebody cut the bones into small, like 1 inch, like the shin bones into like 1 or 2 inch pieces. Throw them on a tray in the oven at like 400. And when you think they're about to burn, leave them in there for another 15, 20 minutes because they're not even close. And then take them out, drop them in a pot, and fill it with water, or put it in your pressure cooker, and let it go. Add a little bit of vinegar if you want to get more of the stuff out. That's a bone broth. And then with that, you can make your soups, stocks, and other stuff out of it. Or you can just drink it straight. And if you're not feeling well, have a little cup of bone broth. It'll help you out with the calcium and everything else in there.
And it has the bone marrow. It has a lot of collagen.
Yep. And a lot of fat that you can render off and put in a jar and keep it as tallow. Yeah.
Yes, that too. And it has a lot of more health benefits than just a meat stock.
Right. So I hope that answers the question. 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch.
I always do an inch.
I do an inch.
I do an inch.
Right.
If you're having a lot of issues with siphoning, you may need to check your burner. Are you on an electric stove? There are other factors with that too. Especially if there's like and if you're try bringing your canner up to temperature slower and see if that helps too. And also turning it off slower.
And your venting time and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's so many factors. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Okay. Someone's been lurking. Now she's asking a question. On your side, Tammy. Or I do my rabbits with turkey, with chicken or turkey broth. So yeah.
Yep, rabbit and chicken and turkey are all the same. Rabbits are done just like poultry. So follow the directions for poultry when you're doing rabbit. Yep. Very good.
Tammy Harder says she's on gas. Kathy D says she's on electric.
Okay. Yeah, it can be a burner issue. It can be a temperature issue. There's so many factors with siphoning.
I'm excited about something here. Those who just reminded me of something.
Okay.
I've been fighting a battle with Intermountain Gas. They insisted on putting in a 2.5-pound high pressure gas meter. I finally got hold of the right person today, and she goes, "No." She said, "No, I'm gonna get hold of somebody and have them call you from the local office." Who calls me from the local office? Another lady friend of hers. He goes, "We'll have the technician out there tomorrow to fix that."
Thank you.
Once that is fixed, I can then get all the appliances I wanted to get without having to buy extra $50 regulators for each appliance. And I can get a gas stove instead of that electric piece of in the background. Even my wife hates that electric piece of. That's why I also happen to have this propane indoor-outdoor cooktop that I use.
Yeah, take that electric one to the garage just for backup emergency.
Yeah, it'll be out there where I can plug it in, where I plug in the welder if I have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, you might need an extra oven. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I just brought back, not this trip, the last trip from California. I brought back my mom's old gas stove that had pilot light,
Mm-hmm.
and I've converted it to run on propane. I can get the nozzles and redo the nozzle and put it back on natural gas and put it outside for summer canning and cooking.
Yeah, summer kitchen.
All right, Terry, I have a video that should be out sometime this week. I've got it started. I haven't finished it. For the French onion soup, I take 3 tablespoons of butter and I brown 8 cups of onions. And you don't need to do them all at once because it takes a lot longer if you do it that way. Do them in shifts in your pan and caramelize them. Put half a cup of onion in each pint jar. And I put the thyme, half a teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of pepper on top of all of my onions before I started measuring them into jars.
You want my
And-
recipe?
I'm giving her the simple one first. And then
mine's simple. I just do it by ounce. I do it by weight, not by cups, because
Yeah.
if you coarse cut onions in a cup, that's not that much. But if you fine dice it, you got more. So I go by weight.
Well, you slice them a 1/4 inch thick. You don't. We use a mandolin and slice them all the same, because it's very important for French onion soups. They're all the same thickness when you cook them to get the texture of real French onion soup. So 1/4 inch thick, half a teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of pepper. Now you can take 8 cups of beef stock. If you want to make it more authentic, you can add half a cup of red wine. I don't.
Cabernet, dry red,
Yep.
Cabernet, Merlot, Malbec, something like that. Don't throw in. I've done Cabernet. The best thing to do is dry cooking sherry. That's your French onion soup flavor.
If you're like me, you just add a little bit more broth.
That's
water,
all good.
or a little water. Fill up to your 1 inch headspace. Now, I didn't do it this time. Last time I put a splash of Worcestershire sauce in my, I like Worcestershire sauce, whatever you want to call it, in my broth. And then you just do them for the soup time, which is 60 minutes for pints at 10 pounds of pressure. Yes, crock pots are great for caramelizing the onions. I was in a hurry today, and then I wound up not having enough beef broth and had to go to the store, and it'll be a project for the rest of the week.
Yeah, when I do my French onion soup, it's a day project, because that's all I'm doing. I'll buy 30 pounds of onion, because when I can, I'm doing 36 quarts of French onion soup. But I use my cast iron Dutch oven on the gas stove, crank it, and I do small batches. But the onions, I do by weight, caramelize them, and then I throw in my my wine and my thyme, and then I will separate them out, because I know I'll do, say, whatever ounces or pounds of onions, and that much onions is for so many jars, like 8 jars, and I'll separate it. I'll even throw it on a scale or just eyeball it, and then I just top them off with my beef broth and lit them up, hot pack, and in the canner they go. And it's great to dump in a crock pot with roast beef or a beef to do a pot roast.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I got some other news here. All right. Kathy becoming a channel member reminded me I am 10 subscribers away from the 5,500 mark. And so I'll be doing a giveaway once we have that 5,500 has stuck for a week or so. I'll be having giveaways for anyone that comes in the chat on the time, what time I do it. I'll be announcing ahead of time. There'll be specific gifts for the ones that are channel members of the camper level, which is Kathy just joined the camper level. And then there's going to be a higher level, a $50 Amazon gift card for those that are members of the Staff Sergeant's Boot Camp level. And so that should be coming up by Thanksgiving. So I only got 10 more to go, but it's been a slow fight because YouTube doesn't like the truth sometimes. Anyways, and Ryan the Gamer's in the house, And as he says, special month, breast cancer, Down syndrome, the awareness month. Yes. All right. I know I missed. There was some comedy in the side chat. I don't know if everybody caught it. Caitlin Strange started it off about the gas company. Hard to find a person who brings it. And I was going to say, I'm going to say it, especially if you're back east in the swamp.
Yep.
Don't you mean west in the swamp?
No, east.
East.
My side of the country.
East.
No, I meant California.
Well,
no, that's not the swamp.
That's a garbage. That's a garbage.
That's the hippie pit.
Oh, okay.
And I was born there.
I knew I was going to get him started.
In.
I was going to start something.
I'm within the second ring of pain in terms of a fallout if something happens in the swamp down here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Okay. Shoot. Let me bring this up over here real quick. I know that Lee at Cold War Prepper is getting ready to go live here in about 15 minutes, and it's open chat Monday. 13 lessons from Hurricane Helene. So that's his topic tonight. It's going to be open chat over there on Cold War Prepper for that. Ryan's double dipping with both his channels, so Kaylin says he brought his stunt double.
I'm going to use that from now on, Kaylin. I love that.
Stunt double, yeah. Well, you remember what I used to do back in the beginning when I resurrected Gray Man Prepping. I called it my evil twin.
Yes.
All right, coming up here. First of all.
Yes, I will try to go live on Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time.
All right, everybody, put that on your calendar. Noon, Rebel Canners, Thursday.
I'm not scheduling it until closer in case something comes up.
Right. All right, and Tammy Harder just joined as a camper level as well. All righty. So with that, tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping, that's Gray with an A, everybody. Took by V. Yeah, he's been lurking. All right. So tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping at 8 p.m. Eastern, the topic is for Tactical Tuesday is emergency communications. What's your gear? We're going to talk about different gears for different ways of communicating. And some of the ways I'm going to be bringing up, most preppers haven't thought about. So, Jessica is here on your side, Tammy. New here. Nice to see you live.
Thanks for coming.
All right. Took by V will be doing the replay. Thank you. All right. Let's see. All right. So Tuesday, Technical Tuesday is emergency communications. Thursday noon is Tammy. Thursday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is midnight down in Rio for another couple weeks. It's the Midnight Ride with Gray Man Prepping. Open chat, going over news items, and just open chat about things of prepping concern that some channels don't want to talk about. Friday, back here on Camppatton Family Compound, winterizing your livestock. So we're going back outside in the homestead. We're going to talk about chickens, pigeons, geese, ducks, sheep, goats, pigs, cows. We're going to talk about taking care of livestock. Oh, Kaylin String. I saw the greatest little meme on Facebook. The guy's walking along the curb, looks up, and there's an apartment building with a bunch of balconies. And this lady has a cow out on her balcony eating from a hay trough put up there. And she goes, you can always do, you can always do, I forget that, so I'm having a brain fart on the word, a homesteading. or organic, whatever, down to earth homesteading, no matter where you live. I could just see Kaylin trying to put a goat or a sheep out on her balcony.
You need one of those little pygmy goats.
Those things, they would escape. They'd be on the roof by midnight.
All right, let's see. So that's winterizing your livestock is Friday here. Saturday on Gray Man Prepping is we're going down the rabbit hole. Going to try this for the third time. Down the rabbit hole with spy software. Hopefully nothing comes up. The last 2 times had emergencies come up and I had to cancel it. But so we're doing down the rabbit hole spy software programs you can buy, ones that people can put on your phones, ones that parents can put on their kids' phones. And if the parents are paying for the phones, the kids have no expectation of privacy. Courts have ruled.
Hey, I threw a video up on Sunday.
Kathy just joined your channel too.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, I threw a video up on Sunday of my final garden tour of.
Yeah.
Tammy was on it, but Gil kind of ignored me on that one.
900-pound harvest of tomatoes.
Yeah, and actually, there's another 60 pounds on my deck right now, mostly green. And they'll, yeah, I gave most of them away to, well, a lot, not most of them, but good percentage to my wife's friends at work. They're all nurses, so can only do so much tomatoes.
Feed the nurses, make them happy all the time.
There's a reel on Facebook, and there's a sign out in the yard. It says the HOA rules that say nothing about lasers, fireworks, or fire. And he's got a display going on, shooting out flames, playing, getting ready to do Christmas stuff. The lights are flashing in time to the music, and he's got laser show going and everything else. What do you want to bet that HOV to have an emergency meeting and change the rules?
Yep, for next year.
Oh, let's see. And so all right. So on the next Monday, dehydrate or can. So we're going to talk about, is this something you should dehydrate, or is this something you can? And then if you're like Mark, you can also throw in there, or is it something I should freeze dry? So we're gonna talk about options next week.
Freeze drying seems to be the more expensive option, but
oh, I can just see stuff coming. All right. Also, just to let everybody know what's coming up on Monday's going on out. So the 28th is dehydrator can. November 4th is air drying and hanging herbs, not vegetable storage. That was suggested by Kaylin. The following Monday, November 11th, Veterans Day, folks. We will talk a little bit about veterans, and I'm married to one. We're going to talk. This is 1 year of canning topics, and we're going to kind of review stuff. Some of the stuff we talked about, the dates and stuff. You want to go back and look at them, and we're going to talk about upcoming topics. So if you have ideas for canning questions and stuff, and you want to see a show dedicated to that, that's the day to sing out. Let's see what else we got. The next one on November 18th, we're just going to talk about human-powered processing. And basically, I got some ideas of things that are out there that we can use before we can. Because you can always can, and Tammy does it, on a wood fire. Let's see, we also got canning leftovers coming up before Thanksgiving. And then we have on December 2nd, canning wild things. And I'm thinking here,
like raccoons,
moose, bears, elk.
November 5th, I have a canning venison video coming out. I've had that for a year planned.
All right. On December 9th, we're going to be talking about storing and reheating containers, especially now that Pyrex has come out with the Pyrex snap lids ones. We love those.
Yep, we got rid of pretty much all the plastic ones are gone, except for some of my little soup containers, like the Chinese food type things I bought. But we don't use those for reheating, cooking. It's like, yeah, let me just throw it in here for the night, and I'll finish it tomorrow. And throw it in the trash.
Yeah. So this last 10 days, I was in California there, packing stuff up to bring it here. My wife was only able to spend one day, actually half a day with me, and it was on Saturday. Helped me load the truck up to come down because I have everything isolated back because it rained a couple times. So, anyways, she saw the extra snap containers I bought besides the ones she sent me, which I did a video on the ones she sent me, and we started comparing them what the plastic ones in the drawer there was, and she goes. And I go, and I got it on Amazon Prime Day. So it was on sale the day before, and it went even more on sale on Amazon Prime Day when I ordered it. And she goes, okay. And I could see in her mind, she wanted to say it, but she didn't want to say, get me a set.
So my wife found the really large, extra deep Pyrex, like roasting dishes that are like 4 inches high, and I think they're one of them is like 8 by 10 or 8 by 12, and then 11/9, but whatever. They're big with the lids, which are great. They got
lasagna pans.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, all right. You're gonna
Amazon.
You got to share where she got it at.
All right.
Send the link.
Not you don't have to worry about right now.
I can't do it now. She's already in bed because she's working tomorrow.
So, yeah, you can send it on an email. I will send an email to both Tammy and I, and all three of us put that information on our community tabs. Because that's something that should be out there.
Yeah. I know she got on Amazon because they showed up one day. She's like, the Pyrex is here. Go get it. It was on the porch. I'm like, damn, this thing's heavy. There were three big casserole. I mean, they're casserole dishes, but they're deep, not like the old standard 2-inch high ones. These are like 3 inches tall. I'm like, or 4. I'm like, holy crap! Because she'll roast off 2 chickens in it, and then after we pick away at it a little bit, I know we have to squish it down a tiny bit to throw the plastic lid or whatever the snap lid on it and throw it in the fridge for the night or put it outside.
All right, just give me a second here. All right. So this is the big one. This is the 6-cup one, and I'd taken all 6 of these full of shredded pot roast to California, and that's what I ate, and I knew it was going to happen. My youngest son spotted it, and he ate half a container in one sitting.
Ooh, now that I think about it, I don't think the ones she got have the snap lids. They might.
All right.
I don't know if they're snap lids or they just have the big plastic cover, whatever that goes over it. I'll have to look at that.
The other one I got, the one I got though, and on Amazon Prime Day, is the 5-piece 4-cup ones.
Yeah, we got a bunch of those. She's got all different ones with dividers in it and stuff. And
so, so it's the 4-cup ones my wife wants me, subtly wants me to get. It's one of those things that she doesn't say it, but she expects me to know. Because the look on her face. All right, everyone, we're going to wrap it up here now. And we're going to, if those of you want to, head over to Cold War Prepper for tonight's live over there. And that'll be interesting talking about, lessons learned from Hurricane Helene. All right, everyone. Take care.
Have a good night.